Hey there guys, lately I have noticed that we have been getting a lot of video game adaptations, and it's nothing I am against, but I can't ignore the amount of controversy surrounding them. I keep hearing terms like woke, virtue signal and gaslighting being thrown around very often when it comes to describing most of, or if not all of the video game adaptations. The biggest problem lies with the live action video game adaptations, and many of them being absolutely butchered by modern ideology that in many cases does not fit the lore or narrative of the very thing they are trying to portray. This whole thing has been going on for a while now, and it has reared its ugly head recently because of a new video game adaptation that is about the Warhammer 40k franchise, which is set to star Henry Cavill, and he is known to be a huge gamer and fan of the fantasy genre, with him playing the role of Geralt in the live action Witcher series. His next big project is the Warhammer 40k series, and here is what he had to say about the Warhammer 40k series. I have loved Warhammer since I was a boy, making this moment truly special for me. The opportunity to shepherd this cinematic universe from its inception is quite the honor and the responsibility. I couldn't be more grateful for all the hard work put in by Vertigo, Amazon and Games Workshop to make this happen. One step closer to making a nigh on lifelong dream come true. As you heard, this is clearly a passion project for Henry Cavill, and he is excited to be working on it, but he's facing some issues, which is the very same reason he left the Witcher series, due to people not sticking to the lore and source material, which is a great loss for the Witcher series. The big problem with video game adaptations is not following the lore, diverting from what makes the lore what it is and the reason the fans like the video game. Impressing critics but pissing off fans is a really stupid way to try and start a new long-lasting franchise in the hopes that it brings more popularity to the existing franchise. One thing people need to understand is gamers are not stupid, especially the ones that you are trying to impress, and they will call you out on things that are not lore accurate, specifically if you are making something about their favorite video games. The other problem I see these days is with modern ideologies making their way into media. It seems like people are pushing their own agendas onto other people, essentially force feeding you through music, movies, advertising and as well as video games. The issue with modern ideology is that in many cases it's only how a very few small percentage of people feel, and in this case they are trying to force all of us to think in the same way they do. I've seen things like race swapping characters as well as switching genders and sexualities of certain characters in video games and media. This is why a lot of people don't respect a lot of modern media these days. Most new things are met with rather unfavorable reviews and criticism, but in many cases the critics are the only people who are pleased with certain things, but the public however sings a different tune. I have been watching the Fallout series, and so far I've been enjoying the show. As of writing the script, I am on episode 3, and so far so good. The show starts off really well, and the performance of Walton Goggins in my opinion is really good. He brings that Hollywood factor that a lot of web series lack. The show starts off with him, and I think that he helps keep the show grounded. I am looking forward to finishing the Fallout show, and I honestly commend them for casting Walton Goggins, and he carries the series. I have also started watching Captain Laserhawk, which is an animated series that was made by Ubisoft and has many Ubisoft video game references and characters. The show references some of Ubisoft's biggest franchises like Assassin's Creed and Far Cry, with a frog that is an assassin in the Brotherhood and Pagan Min also being in the show. Even Rayman is in the show. The show is really weird, like Rick and Morty, which I don't mind, but the show is rather woke, very modern, with there being a lot of openly homosexual scenes going on. I had no idea that would be in there, and it caught me off guard, but the show isn't bad. I miss the way media used to be. It seems like these days there is so much harmful content out there, made by people who have very harmful agendas, and I am honestly sick and tired of it. I have no idea why people have to do things like this. This is why I barely watch many things these days. I have no idea who on earth they are being made for. I never understand why the critics' views matter more than the public. Doesn't really matter to me. I never really pay attention to the critic views anyway. I don't need to write a whole essay about modern media. We all know that things are not going well, and it's no secret anymore. There's this new trend called go woke, go broke, and it's becoming very apparent that many of these big companies are most certainly going broke or are losing billions due to the ridiculous amount of pandering to people who don't consume their products in the first place. I always thought video games and gaming would be safe, but I was wrong, and how these people have managed to work their way into all forms of media needs to be studied. And with that, this is the Chilly Man signing off. I thank everyone for watching. Peace out.